Hi there, welcome to STAEDTLER's Art Sessions with Riaan. In this session, we will paint a still life using STAEDTLER's watercolors.
For today's project, we will use STAEDTLER's watercolors to paint. Use an HB STAEDTLER pencil to lightly draw the guidelines for our still life. Having a good reference image is very important. Either take your own photos or use websites like Pixabay, which offer royalty-free images. For this painting, we have picked an olive oil bottle with some olives in the foreground. Don't let the reference image dictate your artwork too much. This is, after all, a painting and a representation of how you see the scene. Remember to use the basic forms to draw the bottle. If you have not seen the session with the basic forms, please feel free to watch it. It will make drawing much easier if you know the basics of it. We are going to use brown, yellow, and blue in the background. Watercolors are very translucent, and we need to build up the values in layers. You can jump directly to the most intense values, but it is better and safer to build up the layers from light to dark. We make the paint very watery, and we can even dab more pigments into the wet areas on the paper. Don't be afraid to experiment a bit. When you use loads of water while painting, it is best to use a thicker paper. In this case, 300 grams is always the best. You can use thinner paper if you know your painting style uses less water. Try not to paint over the bottle area. We want to make this a different color. For the lid of the bottle, we can use a bit more brown. When you need to remove or lift the paints, wipe the brush dry with a paper tissue or towel. Drop a bit of blue pigment into the shaded area of the lid. Now we start painting the glass. Clear glass doesn't have much color in it. The color you see is either what is behind the glass or reflected in the glass. Once you understand this, glass will be easy to paint. We use a bit of yellow to paint the oil within the bottle. Start with a light color. We will continue to build up the values with consecutive darker layers. While the paint is still wet, we can introduce some darker colors and variations within the liquid. Add a thin line on the far side to suggest the thickness of the glass, and keep a white line open on the side where the light is coming from. Keep adding darker tones to add more dimension and depth to the bottle and the liquid inside. You need to look carefully at your reference to determine what is happening inside the glass, behind it, or reflecting on it. For the olives, we will start to use a light yellow as a basis for the green. For the dark olives, we will use a bit of crimson and add brown to it to downtone the intensity of the red. Let's mix a dull green with yellow, blue, and a bit of brown. The brown will give the green its olive color. For the dark olives, we will add more brown to the green. Keep the highlights light at this stage. We will darken a bit later. Remember to keep the lower parts of the olives lighter to suggest reflected light. Time to make the olives highlights a little darker. Use very diluted colors at first and deepen as needed. Now we start adding finer detail. Don't be afraid to experiment with broken and squiggly lines. Keep the properties of glass in mind. In episode 4, part 2 of the STAEDTLER art sessions, we looked at the properties of glass. It is always good to go back to the principles and practice them. To mix a grey colour for the tabletop, you can use all the colours on the palette. Blue and brown mixed will create a grey colour. Use more blue for cooler greys and more brown for warmer greys. STAEDTLER's watercolours are available in a cardboard box containing 12 watercolour paints in assorted colours. The watercolours are highly pigmented. It is perfect for fine art and craft applications. It is best for use on watercolour paper or board. The brushes clean up easily with water. The paint is available in 12 ml paint tubes. When the paint dries on the palette, it easily dissolves again, which means you can continue to use it. Use a bit more blue underneath the olives to make the shadow a bit cooler. Also make it darker to show that less light reaches this area. Vary the color of the tabletop. It is usually better not to keep it in one single color. The color variation suggests that the light in the scene has an influence on all the surfaces. Make the background darker now. It should be darker than the glass bottle to make it pop out from the background. Using mainly cool colors, here we will make the warmer yellow stand out better. To make the warm colors even stronger, we add a bit of red on top of the yellow. Because the watercolors are translucent, the yellow and red layers will create an orange glow to the parts that we add red over yellow. Here we add purple to the shadows at the bottom of the olives. Remember that yellow and purple are complementaries, and although the purple is not directly next to the yellow, it will have the desired effect. Keep making the shadow areas darker to make the glass bottle stand out better. We go back to the olives again and make it darker still. The dark olives can almost be black, but don't use black. Rather mix a dark color with blue and brown. Doing this will give you the option of either using warmer or cooler tones in the darks. Black will only make colors look dull. Painting is like sculpting. You can shape things in your painting by adding more dark colors where you want other objects to stand out. The dark shadows under the olives will make them stand out even more. If you see that an area is too dark, dab tissue paper to lift pigment on the wet paint. Keep layering darker pigments where needed. Now we go back to the glass bottle and add deeper reds to the liquid in the bottle. You can call the painting done at this stage or add more finer detail.